as a tactician and as a wily person. So the message said, if you haven't passed LRE, stop. If you've already passed, continue. Well, he'd already passed when he opened the message, so he continued. Obviously, he'd opened it before, but, or he knew it was in it, or whatever. But in any case, we don't even know if these are true stories, but they've come down, apocryphal, and the different historians, Al-Tabari, other Muslim historians have told these stories. They're very interesting stories. This is the romantic period of Islamic history we're dealing with now. To my mind, this is the really most attractive period. Very attractive, very exciting, very romantic. People who like romance and this kind of thing will find. I don't think the squabbling at Medina is as attractive as all this. This is very attractive. And something I've always said to my Muslim friends, you know, I think the Islamic history is greater than its parts. And, you know, Islam is greater in sum total of all its parts, not just one aspect. The Quran isn't the only part of Islam, it's all the rest that make up Islam. So the whole is greater than its parts. Well, we argue about that, and some Muslims understand what I'm saying, and others don't. But this is, to my mind, a really glorious period of Islamic history right here, what we're dealing with. Anyway, Khalid does do the famous wheel in the desert, does come and rescue the Palestinian columns. Yazid ibn Abi Sufyan has been killed. Muawiyah is a young boy, he's survived. Amr does take Egypt with a lot of trouble back and forth. The Byzantines come and raid Alexandria with their navy. The Byzantines are a sea power. They're able to recoup and come back, but slowly the Muslims, being a land power, grind them down. Amr becomes governor of Egypt, a very rich province. He gets extremely well-to-do, rich, very influential. You see if I can get this right now. Omar. The problem is that I think, let's see if I can get it right. Muawiyah, I think, gets to be governor of Syria because of his family connections. Why would he be governor of Syria? Because of his family connections to what family? The Umayyah, the Abu Sufyan clan, the principal Meccan aristocracy. I think Muawiyah is now getting ambitious. He's no longer so young. He's increased in age, I guess. He's a young man, but he's got servitors around him. He wants to, he's in mid-40s now, I guess around 644. He starts to construct a fleet on the Lebanese coastline. And he writes to Omar. I think this is the right story, sequence. Cyprus is so close that you can hear the roosters crowing or the chickens clucking. I'm not sure how he put it, but something to that effect. You know, a little exaggeration, but he wants to go to sea and invade Byzantine possessions at sea. They take the wood from the Lebanese coastline, they construct their own fleet now to rival the Byzantine fleet. The Arabs are ready to take to sea, to become a sea power, the Muslims. Omar is cautious. He doesn't want to do it. He doesn't see Arabs as seamen. He doesn't see Arabs as seafarers. He wants to consolidate the land situation. And at that point, when Omar refuses to give permission to go to sea and to countenance the Cyprus campaign, he's assassinated. That's first of the caliphs who was assassinated. Now, all the caliphs after Abu Bakr are assassinated. No one dies, and this starts this bloody history of Islamic internecine warfare and strife. I think, I'm not sure, but I think they say he was assassinated by a slave that was sent down by Muawiyah. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. Anyway, Muawiyah is going to be an extremely important name. That's why I singled him out. You ever heard the name Muawiyah before? How many have heard of Muawiyah? You have. You have. What did Muawiyah do? Okay, Miss allegiance, language allegiance. What did Muawiyah do? Muawiyah started the Umayyad Caliphate. That's what he did. And he was the first Umayyad Caliph, and he reigned for 40 years to the 680s. So it is a huge, illustrious career. It spans 4 decades. Someone asked me about Augustus. You know, they're doing that thing on HBO television. Are you watching it, Rome? It's a good soap opera about Rome, but it incorporates some of the historical elements. So I know the guy who wrote some of that, John Milius. He also did the Patton movie, and he did the movie Geronimo, and he did surf movies, and he's pretty, I know him through my son who knows his daughter. He's a pretty talented person in terms of historical dramas. And so my sons were asking, well, who's Octavian? Who's Octavian? How many have seen this thing? He's in there. Octavian is a young boy. He's in there. And I tell you, well, Octavian, don't you know who Octavian is? And no, who is he? He's Augustus. He becomes Augustus. He's really the hero of the whole thing, Octavian. He's the one who's going to continue through all the episodes, and they're going to obviously follow him. At the moment, they're working on Caesar and Pompey and the civil wars and Cleopatra and all that stuff. And then they have another storyline among the people down in the pits, the lower classes, upstairs, downstairs, Roman style. So it's a pretty good soap opera. It's on HBO. I recommend it. I think it's better than nothing. It's a little bit, it's got a lot of porn in it too, to modern taste. But in Rome at that time, there would have been a lot of porn. So I mean, it isn't so unreal. But he's like Augustus. Muawiyah is like Augustus. He said, well, how long did so I got him out Suetonius, the 12 Caesars, and I read him last night portions about Augustus from Suetonius, the 12 Caesars. He said, what? Augustus reigned for 40 years? I said, yeah, that's right. He died in his bed. And Muawiyah also died in his bed, and he reigned as the Umayyad Caliph for 40 years after all this trouble. But we'll get to Muawiyah's great career. It's a tremendous career, very underrated, because no one likes it. Sunnis don't like him, and the Shiites don't like him. So his career is like, he's like, nobody likes it. But he was extremely successful. And it's the reemergence of the Meccan aristocracy that he represents. Let me keep you 5 more minutes if I might. Trying to finish up at a good point here. So, Omar is assassinated, seemingly by a Greek slave that Muawiyah may or may not have sent down, I don't know. Anyway, the next successor is Uthman. And Uthman reigns 644 to 656 when he's assassinated. Now, at this point, you see, Uthman is an Umayyad. He's the only one of the Prophet's early companions, the Muhajirun, who is from the Umayyad clan, the principal Meccan clan. So there is some Umayyad